Hello, welcome to the E3 post show and my thoughts about what happened after E3. None of my predictions came true, not one of them, and I'm pretty disappointed in that. But overall, this was a very high and low E3. For me, it was a roller coaster. Some people thought it was like one of the worst E3s in history and they didn't really like it. For me, there was ups and downs. There was a lot of good and a lot of really bad, but I've seen worse at E3, and there are way worse cringe compilations that will come out from past E3s than this one. But it was very interesting being in the E3 conversation while it was happening, talking to a lot of people as the conferences would end, and talking to them before they would start, and getting opinions from different people going on my YouTube channel and sharing things with me, and I realized that the one question you have to ask yourself before going into E3 is, what is your hype? What is your hype level? In saying that, what are the things that you were hyped about going into it, and what were the things that you weren't hyped about? Basically, what your preference was going in depends on how good of an E3 you think it was. You don't care about Nintendo, you wouldn't care about Nintendo conference and think it was the worst thing in the world. You don't care about Microsoft, you just thought Microsoft conference, roll your eyes, whatever. If you had a preference to one console over another, one company over another, maybe that would also make your hype level not as big as usual. Also, certain games, if you don't care about a certain game franchise, they show it. I definitely showed that when they showed like Rainbow Six Siege. It's like, I don't care. Fortnite, I don't play Fortnite, that's for kids. I don't care. The fact that they barely showed anything from Call of Duty was kind of weird this year. Really, what I found, whatever people's hype level was what they were looking forward to. And I'm a huge Sony fan, so everything on Sony stage was great. But I'm an old school Microsoft fan, so watching, Xbox's press conference stirred something up in me too. It's one of my highest rated conferences. And Ubisoft, shockingly, one of my highest rated things. Ubisoft came out of the ballpark to me, and I was like, this is such a good conference, but I seem to be almost alone on that. No one I know agrees that Ubisoft was super good. I really enjoyed it, and Ubisoft did something which I think is the point of the E3 conferences, is that they're trying to build hype in you and get you to care about games that you might not care about, and get you to care about stuff that, like for instance, I am super looking forward to Assassin's Creed now. I wasn't before, now I'm like, man, that looks really good, and it looks really pretty, and I really like what they're doing with it, and I want to play that game. Skull and Bones also looks great. I know other people don't care about those things, but when I saw them, I reacted to them, I was like, that looks really good. Same thing with the Sony conference. Every single trailer they showed was great in my opinion. Every single one. I was like, these look great. Everything on here is amazing, and I cannot wait to play it. Microsoft, up and down. They showed so much stuff. It's hard to remember everything, but yeah. Bethesda didn't show anything that I really cared about. Or if they showed something I cared about, it is so far away, I can't even reach it. I can't have it now, and that's so frustrating. They're like, why do you love Bethesda? Because they're showing me stuff I care little about. And the stuff that I do is just so far away, and it's so frustrating. So yeah, roller coaster of crazy. And depending on who you talk to, it was really good, or really bad, or I found it to be a little bit of both. But trust me, it didn't dip super low. Like, I've seen worst E3 conferences, and especially Nintendo conferences. Nintendo killed it. I'm going to go through my list of my ranking my conferences. Number one was Nintendo by a long shot. Killed it. I mean, short conference, to the point conference, and they ended it so well. Perfect. Ubisoft is next. Ubisoft, great conference. I loved it. To me, it was paced well. To me, it was put together well. To me, it had a lot of games that I am looking forward to. Showed a lot of collaborations that are interesting and original, and I cannot wait to see what comes out of this company. I think they're innovative. They align themselves with so many different people. Yeah, Ubisoft did it. Under Ubisoft, I put Sony. As amazing as Sony was, their press conference stumbled. it wasn't great. It was just like, what is happening? Yeah, now I got really hyped up in the beginning and then it low. Then I got hyped and it was just kind of weird. But man, that Spider-Man trailer, Last of Us 2 trailer, Ghost of Tsushima, oh my gosh, oh, it's so good. Ubisoft and Nintendo just hyped me up even more. Shockingly. Microsoft was next. Microsoft was a good conference. I can't poo-poo Microsoft that much. I'm upset that it got lowered. I thought Microsoft would be in my top 3 because it was a good conference. Wasn't that bad. They showed a lot of stuff. They had some missteps in theirs as well, in their conference as well. I think that Microsoft showed off too many things, like Bethesda shouldn't have been there, and maybe the other third-party people shouldn't have been there, and maybe could have lifted up, like Square Enix lifted up their conference a little bit more. Just Microsoft was good. It was a good, solid conference. But yeah, it just kind of fell to the number 4 spot for me. Number 5 is Square Enix. Square Enix did a pretty solid conference. It was a very short conference. That was part of the reason that I liked it. It was like Nintendo's conference, very short, very to the point. And a lot of people were like, it wasn't a conference, it was just like an experience. It wasn't even, sure, okay, but I liked what they showed. It was all the trailers together, here they are. It wasn't this pomp and circumstance in between it. It was straight to the point, and I really, really enjoyed that. Then EA was actually not a bad start. It was bad, but it was then not that bad of a start. It was just so boring. They just need to know how to hype people. Like, if anyone's watching these press conferences, you just have to know how to get people excited. And there are some games where, yes, they do need an explanation. Just have someone walk out. Have them describing the game while things are going on behind them, and then it falls dark, trailer time, gameplay time. Some of these games had 2 trailers to them. Some things ran longer than others, but ultimately, EA wasn't the worst conference, and you know who was. Last but not least, Bethesda. And I have to say, I think my hype going in was too high that they couldn't meet it. They stumbled so much on the press conference. There were so many times where I rolled my eyes or screamed. I was like, this sucks. While I was watching it, I didn't do it as much as the other conferences, to be quite real. I just expected more from them. And the things they announced were cool. I guess we'll have to see how good that mobile game. I didn't care about most of the stuff that was on it, and the stuff that I did like, they didn't explain enough. So, what do you want from me, Bethesda? I don't know. So, you could tell a lot of my list I'm critiquing off of how well the press conferences were organized. Because if you organize your press conference well, the hype level is there, the energy level is up, you're able to build momentum and get hype throughout the thing. And that was a big part for me because I wanted to be a little bit impartial. I didn't want to be my hypeness for something because I was willing for Microsoft to be on top. I mean, the fact that Ubisoft is my second pick, I mean, I never thought that would happen, but I sat back and I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's my opinions on all the press conferences. Please let me know what you feel, what you think they could do to improve everything. And thank you for watching Game Rain Reviews, review of all of the conferences in this post show. Please don't like, subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you when I do my vlog. Have a good summer.